Hi there, and this is Friday's edition of Brian's Mind. I know I'm taping it on Thursday, but I have stuff planned for Friday. Balls has got a doctor's appointment and everything tomorrow, so he won't be able to film. So yes, I'm wearing the same shirt. No, I'm not a pig wearing it 2 days in a row. It's the same day. Okay, now I just been gone for probably the last 8 hours, and I was taking a Portuguese reading to English class so I could learn to understand and try to overcome my fight with dyslexia. Now, I kind of did, but it didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it to. So it turns out that I now can sort of read English, but it has to be ebonics. So now I'm almost there, but now my dyslexia goes from I can still read Portuguese just fine, and I can read French, and now I can read Soul Brothers. So the first book I decided to read was to get in touch with my inner self, and I believe some of my family members and my people of color that are also related to me. A lot of people didn't realize, but I am 2/3 black. Okay. Now, the first book that I think everybody should read is W.E.B. Du Bois' The Souls of the Black Man. Now, or black folks, excuse me, I apologize. Okay, now, this book is actually excellent reading, and I suggest everybody read it, whether you have any African American in you or not, because it tells the plight in different stories of what happens to my fellow brothers and sisters growing up through America's tumultuous times. Now, I believe that the syndicatedness of the vociferous products of the man keeping us down is the reason that most of my brothers are incarcerated at this present moment. Now, if you take away the incarceration of the fortitude and put it on the solitude of the righteousness, you will see that it's all hocus pocus. Now, if you read this book, it's actually a very inspirational book. There's nothing funny about that, and I will not make a joke about this book. Great literature. Okay, but everybody should read it just so you can understand where I and my fellow brothers and sisters come from. Now, I know a lot of people say that, well, gee, you look awfully white for being 2/3 black. Well, I can't help it. Both my dads were black. My mom was white. Okay. Now, I know a lot of people say it's funny, but my mom was into the whole gangbang thing. It was out there. Okay, anyways, so I'm 2/3 black. And I have the weird skin condition that Michael Jackson has, and I don't know if my producer knows it or not. No, he does not. Okay. So I have the same disease that Michael Jackson has, and that's why I'm very fair skinned. And trust me, I took a lot of crap growing up because I had no hops. I couldn't play basketball, I couldn't dance or any of the other stereotypes. I didn't sling drugs. I actually overcame my dyslexia to be able to go to college and play football in college, and I was a good running back and linebacker. And I believe that was the African American heritage in me coming out. Now, I could be wrong, you know. I'm sure that the only 1/3 of me that isn't black happens to be my penis, but that's another story. I overcame a lot of adversity in my life. It's not easy growing up in this society where everybody looks down upon me because of my race. Now, like I said, if you're just turning in, you're saying, man, you're crazy, that's a white dude. No. All my friends know the story already, so they won't even be shocked at all. This is for you other people that are still ignorant about the whole deal of interracial couples marrying. Like I said, my mom actually didn't marry my dad's, but she had a good time, and she used to say, darker the berry, sweeter the juice. Didn't know what that meant till now, but now I understand. So, you know, both my dads, you know, Rufus and Leroy, both understand that I love them both. They're both passed on now, and as is my mom, so I have to take my heritage and bring it on. Now, I married a white woman, so that makes my kids less than half black. I don't know quite the whole thing. It'd be like 7/16 or something like that, or 3/8 or whatever the hell it works out to. So at least I'm keeping the bloodline going, and I hope that my kids actually will hook up with somebody of African descent so that we can keep the power and the struggle going. And I just want to go back to this book. It doesn't just have stories in it. At the beginning of every chapter, it has nice songs that bring joy and soul to my heart. Now this one in particular, I just thought of my family when I read it, so I'd like to read it briefly, and I will read fast. "Oh, black boy of Atlanta, but half H-A-A-L-F, had was spoken. The slaves' chains and the masters alike are broken. The one curse of the races held both in tether. They are rising all together, the black and white together." Yes, amen. That was Whittier, and brother couldn't have thought of a better way to say it. I appreciate it. And it's been a struggle all my life, but my athleticism did actually make me a college graduate, and I believe that I wouldn't have the job I have today, which is I am a scientist working on a cure for hopefully for anemia, and one day my brothers and sisters will never hear the word sickle cell again, because I am spending all my life work into doing that. I work for I don't want to say the corporation I work for, because I don't want people to know who's ahead in the game. I don't think we're that far away from finding a cure. When we do find a cure, you will see me up on stage. I will be one of the ones. This is my relaxing gear. That's why everybody thinks that I'm a scumbag, you know, because the man, their first impression. But I do have my PhD, and I'm also a phlebotomist. And I also have passages from my Scientology ways. And I am not the only African American Scientologist out there too. Samuel Jackson, he was a Scientologist. And one of my favorite ones was Chef from South Park, Isaac, rest in peace. And as far as my credentials, I don't think they need to be discussed anymore. Everybody understands who I am and knows who I am. So if you out there don't believe me, please email happydude53406, and I'll be glad to send photocopies of my educational diplomas. I got my master's at Duke University, and I got my doctorate at Stanford Medical College. So if you people doubt that I'm close to a cure, I say give me 5 years. If it's not a cure in 5 years, come back and I'll give you my address and you can shoot me in the head. Okay, this has been Brian's Mind. Until you in 5 years from now blow it out.